Settle down, folks, as we unravel Alpine's upheaval. Soon after firing the team principal, Otmar Szafnauer, among other staff members, Alpine is scrambling to find replacements. For weeks now, Mattia Binotto has been the leading candidate to take the job at the French team. However, nothing is certain in the world of Formula One. Do you think Binotto will take the Alpine team principal seat soon? Stick around to find out more. A report from L'Auto Journal in France claims that Binotto was at the Belgian Grand Prix weekend and stayed for the post-race Pirelli tyre test, and they claim he has already agreed to the terms of becoming Alpine team boss, following conversations with Renault CEO Luca Di Maio. Respected Ferrari journalist Leo Torrini wouldn't be surprised if a deal has already been struck for Binotto to take the reins of power at Alpine, adding that great things could be on the horizon for him there. In France, they say Binotto already has the agreement with Alpine. I wouldn't be surprised. I have known Mattia for almost 30 years. He's a great guy, perhaps undermined by an excess of self-esteem. He had the Ferrari GP in his hands for a few years. It was his dream come true. If he finds in Di Maio a mentor, and if he learns to listen more, he could do great things. Torrini wrote for Quotidiano. Any announcement of his arrival could come as early as September, keeping in mind his gardening leave commitments to Ferrari that would prevent him from joining rival teams before the set period has elapsed. There are already a few roadblocks in Alpine's quest for Binotto. The Italian engineer is a veteran in the world of Formula One, and despite his time with Ferrari, is an asset. In fact, his intricate knowledge of Ferrari and his personal relationships within the team are exactly what make him such an attractive alternative for Alpine. However, this scenario has also made him an attractive option for the biggest institution in F1. This is exactly how F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali is becoming a roadblock for Alpine. As reported by Motorsport, Binotto has two offers on the table now. One, as we all know, is from Alpine, and the other is from the F1 boss. Domenicali wants him to become the technical director of F1. This will effectively make him Domenicali's left-hand man and give him much more influence on the sport, from an engineer to F1's technical director, and possibly a more significant leadership role in the future. This career path should definitely attract Binotto if he wants to take a break from day-to-day racing. I think he should take this one. The F1 boss wants Binotto for his technical knowledge and experience in the sport, while Alpine wants Binotto for his knowledge and his connections to poach engineers from Ferrari. But how does Ferrari feel about the latter? One can imagine that they're not too pleased with these reports. The Italian team's new French boss has already lost a handful of capable hands to rival teams in the last few months. With already a lot of shuffling and turbulence in the team, Ferrari would like some stability. However, with the singing of Binotto, Alpine wanted to upset Ferrari a bit more and poach some more of their engineers. Frédéric Vasseur did not appreciate even a hint of such a scenario unfolding, and even made a fiery statement addressing the same. "We started recruiting massively, and this is also a message we have to send to the paddock and the team. We will do our best in every single sector," Vasseur said. There are notably high expectations riding on Vasseur's shoulders, and clearly the team cannot afford to lose more people with the currently unreliable state of the car. It is clear that being a team principal in Formula One isn't for the faint of heart. Although the highs are fantastic, it's a brutal job, with a lot of finger-pointing and blame if things don't go to plan. One of the men who has dealt with his fair share of drama from his time in F1 is Otmar Szafnauer, who was previously at Aston Martin before switching to rival Alpine for the 2022 season. A year on from the summer shock of Fernando Alonso announcing his departure and Oscar Piastri ruling out replacing him, Alpine go into Formula One's August break in a state of upheaval again. The Piastri saga was the talk of Formula One last August, with the Australian issuing a statement on social media that went viral after Alpine announced he would be racing for them. This year is not any different for them either. In just 2 weeks, an entire top tier has left the Enstone factory. Chief Executive Laurent Rossi, Team Principal Otmar Szafnauer, Sporting Director Alan Permane, and Chief Technical Officer Pat Fry call it a cleaning of the entire Alpine F1 house, after years where the accepted wisdom in F1 is that the route to success is a well-defined vision, stability, investment and realism. Alpine going separate ways with two of its most senior figures seems like a step in the opposite direction. I think with Otmar and with Alan it's the same. They're great people, and we thank them for all we brought to the team for a very long time. For Alan, 34 years in Enstone and more recently with Otmar, he achieved 4th place in the championship last year, which is a good achievement, but we were not on the same timeline to recover the level or to reach the level of performance we are aiming for. Mutually, we agreed to split our ways, and that's it, said Alpine's interim team principal Bruno Famin. Alpine is 2/3 of the way through a 100-race plan to return to the front of the grid, but this year, the team has slipped from its 4th-place finishing position last year to 6th in the current constructors' standings. Szafnauer said that he believed the 100-race plan was realistic, but the Renault board expected results in a shorter period of time. The thing that really changed is I had a timeline in mind for changing the team, making it better. That timeline, I thought it was realistic because I know what it takes. I've done it before. I think some of the senior management at Renault had a shorter timeline in mind. I've always said Mercedes took 5 years from buying a winning team. Red Bull took 5 years from buying Jag, which was a pretty solid mid-grid team. It takes time. That's what it takes. Do you think that Alpine was perhaps impatient? The French team is in complete shambles right now, and clearly Binotto could be the ultimate saviour. Moreover, prior to the links that Binotto currently has with Alpine, there were also reports that Audi had contacted the Italian. Audi, who are set to join F1 from the 2026 season onwards, were keen to sign the former Ferrari team principal to help them with their project. However, according to Business F1, Binotto was far from impressed after looking at their base in Newburgh. The report states that the 53-year-old went to the extent of calling the managers at Audi clowns, which Audi swiftly dismissed. Therefore, considering that Audi did not impress Binotto, it is fair to say that Alpine has showcased enough promise to convince the Italian to join them. Despite this, all is not lost for Alpine, as they embarked on a mission to transform their fortunes, but the turning never stopped. Laurent Rossi had voiced his frustration about the team's lackluster development at the beginning of the F1 season. Fast forward to now, and the French team is poised for a revolution. In a press release that reverberated, Alpine revealed that 3 heavyweight investment parties that include Redbird Capital, Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney and Michael B. Jordan have joined forces, collectively pouring a remarkable $218 million into the team. These investors are no ordinary backers. Their stakes amount to a substantial 24% share within the team. Their investments have a dual purpose, nurturing Alpine's growth trajectory and fueling their sporting ambitions. Following this huge cash influx against the backdrop of Spa-Francorchamps, Luca Di Meo did away with Szafnauer, Allen and Pat Fry. But this wasn't random, it was a thought-out plan. You will have to stay tuned to our next videos as we dig deeper into this. As the Formula One landscape continues to evolve, Binotto's presence adds an intriguing layer to the competition. Time will tell how his leadership influences Alpine's performance on the track and shapes their long-term aspirations within the sport. In this era of intense competition and innovation, Binotto's tenure as team principal at Alpine promises to be a captivating chapter in Formula One's ongoing narrative. In conclusion, Binotto's extensive experience and proven leadership in motorsport will bring a new dimension to the Alpine team. His previous role at Ferrari showcased his ability to navigate the complexities of Formula One, demonstrating both technical prowess and strategic acumen. Binotto's arrival will inject fresh energy into the Alpine team as they seek to challenge the established order and climb up the ranks of the Formula One hierarchy. His track record of fostering collaboration and nurturing talent within the team bodes well for Alpine's future development. However, the move also raises questions about how Binotto's management style and technical expertise will mesh with Alpine's existing culture and operational framework together, with violating Ferrari's legal terms of the gardening leave. What are your thoughts on Binotto as Alpine's team principal? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for the latest F1 news. Bye for now.